I see my publisher Bhumika is here. So, Wit and the Law. So, I must say that during the pandemic, when there were very dark times, I wrote this very, very serious, what I thought was a very serious book, putting in all emotion, all drama, melodrama, and ultimately my publisher published it as a humor book. So, you never know when humor strikes. And well, you know, I had written an article in the Bar on the Bench a few years ago on humor. So I will just share a few anecdotes from there, just to make the point that, you know, we had a rich tradition in law, in courts, of humor. And some of those humorous interactions which I shall tell you about, all of you have heard. But we love to hear it again. It's like Sholay. You see the same movie again and again, you love it, right? So, you know, for example, I'll give you an example from the Madras High Court. But keep in mind that one important thing about humor is tolerance. If there is no tolerance, there is no humor. So there was this incident in the court of Sir Lionel Leach. I'm talking about pre-independence. A lot of the High Court judges were British, as you know. So one lawyer was arguing before Sir Lionel Leach when a donkey brayed from outside. A gadha started going or something like that, right? And Sir Lionel Leach thought he was being very smart, and he said, "Gentlemen, one at a time." So the lawyer was very upset कि मुझे गधा बोल रहे, दिखाता हूँ साले को. So after some time, this British judge was writing down the judgment. When that gadha फिर से did so the lawyer with a deadpan serious face said, "Can my lord repeat the words? Since the echoing, I couldn't hear it properly." So see how the judge and the lawyer called each other donkeys, and yet no one killed each other, no contempt, no nothing. The Allahabad High Court is in the news nowadays for all the wrong reasons. But there was a time when the Allahabad High Court was the best or the most sought after High Court. As you know, Motilal Nehru was the Mukul Rodgi or the Hari Salve of those days, Jawaharlal's father. He made so much money in the Allahabad High Court, as you must be knowing, that every week all his clothes went to London for dry cleaning. Now, there was a greater lawyer than Motilal Nehru in Allahabad, and his name was Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru. And there are so many humorous anecdotes about the wit related to Tej Bahadur Sapru. Here's a story I'll tell you, but which is not about Tej Bahadur. It is not his wit, but related to him. There was an Indian judge called Sir Shah Muhammad Sulaiman. Now, there were a lot of Indian judges also in the high courts, but most of the judges were British judges. Now, many of you lawyers will know that there are a lot of judges, and now some of these judges have become YouTube heroes also. So a lot of judges like talking a lot, right? So there was this Sir Muhammad Sulaiman who was called a talking judge. Now, one day, the Chief Justice Grimwood Mears was sitting in the court, and he asked a British lawyer, the barrister, Sir Charles Ross Alston, "Excuse me, counsel, could you ask Mr. Sapru to just come here? We need his assistance." So Charles Roston was having his fun, and he said, "My lord, that may not be possible because Mr. Sapru is in the next court listening to Sir Muhammad Sulaiman." Listening, meaning, wo baat kar rahe, wo sun raha hai. The person who is known for the greatest wit, and you know, there are books on all of this. This is just to give you a few appetizers so that you are interested to read about them. There are autobiographies and books about their humor. One of the legends was C.K. Daftari, a legend of the Indian bar, legend from the Bombay bar, Chandu Bhai. And once he was, and many of his witty exchanges with the bench are known, but I'll just share a few of them. Once he was arguing a gambling case before Justice Jeevan Lal Kapoor, a gambling case. And, Daftari was very, very good. He knew all the facts. And I'll tell you later how I was inspired by this. So he said, the judge, Jeevan Lal Kapoor said, Mr. Solicitor, the way you have portrayed the whole issue in such a subtle manner about these gamblers, it gives us the impression that you are a professional gambler too. So Daftari, with a straight face, said, my lords, what else am I doing morning to evening in your courts? Gambling. So I was, involved in the Delhi liquor case. So when my opponent was arguing, I was saying, my God, he knows with such precision what are the kind of liquor, what are the kind of which alcohol is fast selling, which beer is fast selling. Very impressive. So, you get inspired by these witty exchanges also in court. Now, I'll tell you a classic story which now it's become such a legend that there are two versions of it. I will give you both the versions and you can decide which version you like or which version was actually truthful. Both are very funny. Justice Hidayatullah had recently been elevated to the Supreme Court. And again, Chandulal Daftari was arguing before him. And he said he was trying to sell a legal proposition to Chandulal Daftari. And then Daftari was not, Hidayatullah was not being impressed. And he said, Mr. Daftari, I've already taken a contrary view when I was the Chief Justice of the Madhya Pradesh High Court. Chandulal, with a straight face, said, now, my lord, is your chance to repent. So, the other story or version of this is, he told the same Chandulal Daftari, C.K. Daftari, that, C.K. Daftari told him, but my lord, in the Madhya Pradesh High Court, you held like this in this identical case. To which the judge said, Hidayatullah said, I can always become wiser. Now, the rock star of court humor actually is G. Ramaswamy. And sir is nodding. A lot of stories of G. Ramaswamy are legendary in the bar. The most important being that witty, many of you may have heard this witty exchange with Justice Kuldeep Singh. I have appeared, when I joined the bar, Kuldeep Singh was just about to go. But one thing I remember, that Justice Kuldeep Singh, I used to call him the echo judge. Because when he used to dictate, he used to always repeat the last three words. So like he's writing, counsel for the petitioner wants time to file a rejoinder. So he would say, counsel for the petitioner seeks time to file a rejoinder, 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 rejoinder. 3 बार बोलते थे, मैंने 4 बार बोल दिया excitement में. Anyway, once this legendary Kuldeep Singh said, Mr. Ramaswamy, do you think we are fools? To which Ramaswamy pretended that he was a little nervous. He wasn't. Remember, in lawyering, a lot of it is acting. And the greater you know how to act, so you have to be a psychiatrist to know the psychology of the judge, you have to be an actor, you have to be a performer, and you have to know the law. It's a full-time profession. So Ramaswamy pretended, and he said, my lord has put me in a difficult situation. Because usko bola, do you think we are fools? So he said, my lord has put me in a difficult situation. If I agree, then I commit contempt. And if I disagree, then I shall be prosecuted for perjury. So the same G. Ramaswamy is also known for an exchange with Justice Venkat Chalaiya. G. Ramaswamy was in those days known to charge a very heavy fee. Nothing compared to the 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs that top seniors charge today. But in those days, very heavy fee. So all of a sudden, he was arguing for a company which was in liquidation and telling the judge, trying to convince the judge that company ka halat bahut kharab hai. So he said, my lord, my client is very poor and in hardship. So judge ne bhi socha ki hum bhi maza lete hain. Kabhi kabar bolte hain, we've also heard this, oh, what is this, Mr. Ghosh? You are appearing, the client can't be poor. So aisa, nahi, not because of me, koi bhi senior advocate aata hai, aisa hi bolte hain log. So Justice Venkatachalaya said, Mr. Ramaswamy, look at the balance sheet at page 63. Your client's turnover 3 years ago was over 50 lakhs. तो ये सोचा कि रामास्वामी को पकड़ लिया. Ramaswamy, unnerved, just said, that, my lord, was before they engaged me. But it is true, कभी कभार client वकीलों का पैसा देते देते खत्म हो जाते हैं. Now, Ramaswamy was very particular about fees. So he was humorous with his clients also. Once he was irritated with a client who was, and we have that always, seniors, the instructing lawyers always coming and saying, "Kam kar do, sir, discount de do, itna nahi de payega, client mar jayega, client ke paas nahi hai, fir se aayenge." So once Ramaswamy said, "Do you expect a petrol car to work with diesel in it?" So, he had a humorous way of dealing with lawyers and clients also. Now, see how a lawyer can deal with humiliation in court with humor and wit. Once, when Ramaswamy lost his advocate generalship, he was Attorney General of India, Attorney General for India. When he lost his Attorney Generalship, one judge thought that the judge will be very clever with Ramaswamy. So he told Ramaswamy, "Well, you see, Mr. Ramaswamy, those days are gone. Till the other day, you may have been able to find a patient listener to these arguments, but abhi to you are not AG, no one will listen to you." But that's true, in power makes all the difference. Young lawyers may not find it very difficult. So I say the actual test of a great judge is a judge who actually gives patient hearing to a young lawyer, not a person who's only listening to Salves and Rodgis and big lawyers. तो ये तो रामास्वामी को ही बोल दिया कि अब तो तू एजी नहीं है, कौन तुझे सुनेगा? Now Ramaswamy deals with his humiliation with wit, and look what a repartee he gave. He said, "I'm glad your lordships brings this up. Only yesterday, I got appointed to a post from which I can never be removed." So judge भी घबरा गया कि अभी तो एजीशिप गए साले का, अब ये इसको कौन सा पोस्ट मिल गया? So he smiled and said, "The post of a former Attorney General." Now, I think my 15 minutes are well over. I'll just quickly wrap up. I'll just give 2 or 3 more instances of wit. The most important case is how wit meaning humor, won us the most important doctrine of constitutional law. Can anyone over here guess? You can shout out because no mic is there. Which is the most important doctrine of Indian constitutional law? Yes, basic structure. But do you know that humor was responsible for basic structure? Humor. How? Is anyone aware of that story? Well, the lawyer who argued for basic structure was the guru of Mr. Dattar who just spoke, Nani Palkiwala, Nani Addarshir Palkiwala. Nani started the first day arguing before 13 judges. Nani ko dekh ke judges itna excited ho gaye that they couldn't stop talking and asking, and Nani did not get any time. They went on and on. 13 judges. If each judge is speaking for 5 minutes, then interrupting, you can imagine, Nani got no time. Basic structure doctrine would not come to India. Nani went to the same Chandulal Daftari and said, "Sir, at this rate, मैं तो कुछ कर नहीं पाऊंगा, ये तो हमें time ही नहीं दे रहे, मौका ही नहीं दे रहे." So Daftari said, "Hold on, wait till tomorrow." The next day, Chandulal got his granddaughter to court. Now I must tell you a reality. This is a reality. My father was from Bengal. He married a Delhi girl, my mother. And my grandfather thought कि जमाई को एक बहुत अच्छा present देंगे. और वो present क्या था? जमाई को लेके special seat. उस समय तो there was no VC, there was no all this YouTube and all. वो ticket लेके seat लेना होता था केशवानंद भारती देखने के लिए. So my father was taken by my grandfather to see Keshavananda Bharati, and after 5-10 minutes, my grandfather, with great embarrassment, told my father, who's not a lawyer, "Arey, uth jao, jag jao, you are snoring." Chandulal Daftari, now that was a reality, this is also a reality. Chandulal Daftari actually took his granddaughter and made her sit very prominently, and the judges also saw कि Chandulal का granddaughter आया उसके साथ. Told her, dress very colorfully, you must be noticed, ये black and white मत पढ़ना. शाम को चंदूलाल जस्टिस सर्वमित्रा सीकरी के ऑफिस में जाके पीए को बोला, मुझे जज साहब से 5 मिनट मिलना है, सिर्फ 2 मिनट. नहीं, जज साहब बिजी है, केशवानंद भारती चल रहे. बोले नहीं, 5 मिनट by the clock. So Chandulal went and said, yes, come, Mr. Daftari. Daftari को ना भी नहीं बोल सकते, Chief Justice of India, Sikri. Yes, Mr. Sikri, come. You know, we are very busy, we are doing this case. So Chandulal ने बोला, my lords are doing such a fantastic job. Such a fantastic job. In fact, I got my granddaughter to watch my lords. And look at my granddaughter. Such a stupid girl she is. She was telling me, Nanu, who is that young man who's constantly interrupting those 13 nice old men? Effect ho gaya. Next morning, all the judges were quiet. And Nani Adashir Palkiwala argued, and you, my brothers and sisters, boys and girls, today have the basic structure doctrine because of the wit and the presence of mind used by one lawyer. Now, my time is over. Okay, maybe one or two last few examples. There is one story which is attributed to many people. Everyone claims, they say that success has many fathers, failure has none. So this story is attributed to C.R. Das. Some people say it is attributed to Sardar Patel, but we don't know. But the story is this. Let's assume it's C.R. Das. C.R. Das is also attributed to Ashok Sen from Bengal, one of the greatest lawyers of India also. He was arguing, or rather the other side was arguing, and he was asleep. He was falling asleep. What are the greatest, actually that gives me an idea, this is out of syllabus. I actually will end with one real life story after this story, because this sleep thing gave me an idea, and I must share it with you. So let me finish this, and I'll come to the last one. So, yes. So when it was the turn of C.R. Das, or whoever it is, this lawyer, great senior lawyer, his junior said, sir, utha diya. It's a great talent for judges and lawyers to learn how to sleep without people getting to know about it. I'm sharing it publicly, don't record it and don't. So, wo ud gaye, jag gaye, and he said, my lord, this man does not deserve mercy because of this reason, that reason, that. वो 20 कारण सुना दिया कि इस आदमी को क्यों सजाए मौत होना चाहिए. और बार बार उसका जूनियर उसका गाउन खींच रहा था, और वो इरिटेट हो रहा था, स्टॉप इट. फिर ultimately he said, what is it, why are you disturbing me? Sir, we are for him, you are arguing the other side case. So that's the great lawyer and the wit, and he said, without any being flustered, he said, that's what my learned friend will argue. Now let me rebut it point by point. So I will end now. I could go on and on. Remember, a lawyer with a captive audience can go on. I'll end with a real life story. And I have confirmed this with the judge concerned, Justice Rumapal, who is a great friend of mine and one of the greatest lawyers, judges of India. The other judge, Justice Lakshmanan, is no more alive, but he was also very kind to me. There are several of my judgments I argued as a young lawyer, reported judgments by Justice Lakshmanan. So apologies to Justice Lakshmanan when I share this story. Justice Lakshmanan, post-lunch, had this habit of falling asleep. And Justice Rumapal and Justice Lakshmanan on the bench, court number 2 of the Supreme Court, where now, court number 3, not 2. So one day Rumapal said that enough is enough. Ab to is judge ko thoda sa tight karna hoga. So as usual, Justice Lakshmanan was sleeping. The parties were arguing. Arguments were over. Then Justice Rumapal, with her proper clipped accented English, said, okay, arguments are over. Now my brother will dictate the judgment. It's real, huh? But Justice Lakshmanan, and he is no more there, was such an amazing person, and that's where the wit and presence of mind comes, because he's just woken up. The whole court is waiting for him to dictate judgment. He looks at everyone and says, arguments heard, judgment reserved. So thank you. I think I've taken too much time. The point I'm making is that please understand that wit and humor is essential. Today we are losing that. Today the bar and the bench is becoming adversarial. Today humor is not appreciated. But humor in law, humor in legal writing is very, very essential. Thank you so much.